Hi friends, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you are on GingerChickRehab. Yes, I have found inspiration in Dollar General items. I am surprised by how these creations turned out. Oh wow, let's talk about stepping up a notch and high end. Oh, I hope you enjoy this video because it is a good one. Now, mushrooms are still a craze, so why not get a couple little mushrooms? Let's see if they easily come off. Yep, it does. Well, one came off easily. That's how that works, right, y'all? Get them wiped off. They got some weird texture. I guess that was supposed to look like dirt at the bottom. I don't know why they did that. So yeah, I don't know what that texture is all about. But I'm going to see at least if I can sand some of it off, the really rough part. And then one of them, the dots are textured and you can feel it. And the other one, they are smooth. So just a little used 80 grit sandpaper just to take it down so it's not so rough. So it's not, I mean, I didn't take it off. I just wanted to sand it smooth. So let's give them a bath and get that sanding dust off there. So this is a pretty shiny surface for paint to stick to, even with a spray primer. So I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and use some of the Slick Stick. 2 coats. Has to dry overnight before you can proceed on painting it, but it'll make it so that the paint stays on. Don't want to spend all that time just painting something just to have it come off. So I was actually working on another project that I was using Sweet Pickins milk paint in the cherry pie color. Might as well go ahead and use it on the top of these mushrooms, right? Not that I want these crackled or anything, but might as well use it up. Try not to waste. Then my first coat is dry. I'm going to go in and do a second coat. I'll go ahead and apply some heat. I'm not sure with the Slick Stick or just how this is, if it'll crackle at all or not. Okay, maybe just a little. That's kind of pretty. So I want to give some texture, see if I can blend that in a little bit more. So I've got some Fusions Victorian lace. I'm going to mix in some baking soda for some texture. So usually a 50/50 ratio. It may work, it may not. Who knows? It probably won't take care of the line, but then the line at least won't be so obvious. I have this little lantern. It's actually a Pottery Barn piece. It's not in bad shape. I'm wondering if this will fit. It will. Oh, and then I have this little wooden acorn and a little mouse. And now I need to tie that whole thing together because right now it just looks like a mess. So we're going to go ahead and take that out. We're going to paint up these 2 pieces. I think I will rusty crusty this a little bit because it's very new. So we're going to set these off to the side. I think we can take these out, the glass out. Oh, we can. That's good because it kind of needed a cleaning. maybe the front one, but these are a little questionable. Nope, I can't take those out. You'll have that. Not everything can take out, but I'll clean this while it's out. Gonna sand this a little bit, it's a little shiny, give it a little bit more age to go with our abandoned woodland theme with the mushroom and the mouse and the acorn, because that paint is really shiny. It's really shiny. And I'm gonna dust it off. Yep, you guessed it, we're gonna do a little bit of the rust patina. Take away that shiny, like I said, like a little abandoned woodland theme. It should wipe right off the glass, even though I couldn't remove the glass, that's okay. Just do the rust along the seams. I love picking up these kind of lanterns because you can fill them with so many yummies. Like I said, I know that I feel like it'll wipe off the glass, so a little bit of green to make that yummy rust color. And I'll just drizzle a little blue. We'll see what it does. So I am, even though he is cute, he won't go in my little display very well. So we're going to use some of this woodwick, which is a nice light brown, so not anything terribly dark. For the acorn, I'm going to go ahead and paint that up with the chocolate. I don't want it to be the same color as what the little mouse is. So look at that. Oh, just a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not worried about the glass yet because I want to spray and seal this in with some weather defense. Before putting the objects in, I'll go ahead and attempt to clean the glass. So I am going to look at how well that textured paint covered that up. But I am going to add a little bit antiquing glaze to give this a little bit of age, seal that Sweet Pickens milk paint in. Oh goodness, but that textured paint did the job. I mean, if you study it, you know, of course, and I know where it was, so, but yes, let's give this some age. Little bit of the glaze on the mouse. Not that it'll bring out much of his details, but just give him a hue of a different color. Then why not? We'll just do a little bit on the acorn. Oh, come back here, slippery guy. Is it going to be easy? Probably not, but okay, first we're going to put the mushroom in. I do have some of this greenery that I want to put in there, but I'm going to have to cut it off the stem though. Sometimes is you have to play around a little. I have a different angle I think I will put it in at, which is from up above. Before I add the rest, I do have some lights. Oh. So I'm gonna have to add those in before I get the other filled in. I want some of these to wrap around the mushroom. That's not the angle I want it to be. Because remember, I got my little mouse yet to put in here. And then we got the little acorn to put in there. Cute. Cute. So I feel like you may not be able to tell that it is a mushroom. So I'm going to go ahead. I have this container, just a jar container. The unique thing about this, I don't know, can you see that waviness? So it can't be, I mean, it's got a seam, but it makes it look old because it's got waviness to it. Whether it's old or not, I don't really know. But I do know that the lid is worse for wear. Some of the paints come off around here. We got some rusty crustiness, which you all know I love. But I think it could use a freshened up paint job first, and maybe some patina to go with a little display inside of it. So, yeah, so let's get this. I already got it washed up with hot water, let it dry overnight so all the pieces and parts weren't running, you know, because sometimes water gets stuck underneath there. The handle's a little bit loose, so I'm going to go ahead and get that tightened up first before we get it sprayed. To give it that salvaged look, you know, we're all painted black now. So just on the outside, I'm going to use some of the iron patina to really give it that look that I'm going for. I know it's not everybody's look, and I know I cannot stop using this stuff because it just, I love it. Okay, for some rusty crustiness, some green patina spray while it's still wet. And right on top of it, I'm just going to do a couple drizzles. This does come out a little bit different than the other. And then we'll just set it off to the side and let it do its magic. Oh, and magic it did. Will you look at that just those few drizzles of blue. Every metal takes differently. That's the fun of this Patina by Dixie Belle. So I'm going to go ahead and get this sealed in with some Weather Defense metal spray. This time I'm going to put the dots on top of the mushroom before putting it into the container. And I remembered that I had one of the small dabber brushes from the Dollar Tree store. And I'm like, I bet you that'll make these dots much easier. But trying to find where the dots were underneath. So I just, just random. Now it's time to put this all together. I'm just so excited, you all. These are so much fun. But I think just for slide around, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue this mushroom to the bottom of this glass jar. Yes, this probably would have been easier to add these pieces of wood in, just some random pieces of driftwood that I have in my stash. I kind of had to make them fit. I should have put those in, then glued it down. But you know what? It is what it is. And I actually tried to take that mushroom out, and it is good and in there. So I like the smoother pieces much better. But I just had to play a little bit to get them to fit. Like I said, it's always a process. And sometimes we make it more difficult than we probably should. And then don't you worry, I have another little mouse that I just picked up. Look at how cute he is. Though I don't want that block. I want him to sit on the piece of wood. So a little bit of hot glue on his bum, and I should be able to get him in there. Oh my gosh, just too cute. Who would have thought on the search for little mice for a salvaged piece of wood in my own home would have created me finding so many mice. And yes, we are going to light this one up too because I just think it's beautiful. I have some of this greenery from the Factory Direct Craft online store. Oh, I love that it has that little bit of hue of brown, but I'm going to, just like the previous one, cut it into little pieces so I can move it all around. I'm trying to tuck in the stems, the bottom of them, so you don't see those quite as much. After I get my stems in there, I'll just kind of play around with the lights a little bit, trying to pull them a little bit more through that greenery. Though I don't have another wooden acorn, I do have some of these mini from the Season Dollar Tree mini pine cones. Oh my goodness, that'll just give that another pop of an element into this. And I'm not going to glue them in, I'm just going to randomly set them in. I know my last Dollar General makeover, I did a couple of these little birdies, but I couldn't help it. The season is going to end, and these are always in the gardening section, so I need to pick up multiple. So I am going to do 2 more for you today. I just love the classic little birdie look that this is, and it is priced just right at $1. And if we'll be lucky, we won't be lucky. The tags will go off. None of them came off easily, so a little bit of lemon essential oil, and then it just kind of disintegrates and you can scrub it off and then just get these wiped off. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all painted up, though I'm not going to share with you what I'm going to do with 6 of them. I'm only going to do something with 2 of them, but I'm getting them painted up with just some of the Rust-Oleum Spray Enamel 15-minute paint. Oh, I love this stuff. I love that it dries in 15 minutes. It dries in 15 minutes, not cures in 15 minutes. There's a difference. And I love putting little vignettes together for you, and I have this little cabinet, we're going to call it. I don't know what the E and the detailed on. It's almost like somebody took nail polish to it and then just had fun blinging it up. And the patina on it is dirt. It's actually pretty dirty. As though I love Rusty Crusty and aged pieces. This isn't Rusty Crusty, but I love aged pieces. I don't really understand what's going on with that E. And it's just a small, a little cabinet, but I'm going to go ahead and get it sanded. Yeah, as you can see, as you can see, like some of the paint's sanding off, but then again, some of the dirt is sanding off. Not the same type of patina. I do love the green of this little cubby. Yeah, there you go. Cubby. We're going to call it a cubby. But I also redid a table that I mixed a couple of the Sweet Pickens milk paints together, and oh, my heart. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of basil, a little bit of in the pickle, and try to match up that color just a little bit. While my paint's thickening up, I'm going to go ahead and give this a good cleaning. Oh, it's so hard to get in those little crevices, but I'll try my best. Go ahead and apply my second coat. I'm not sure if this will crackle, if it won't crack or not, but after getting the second coat applied, I will quickly take a heat gun and see if we get any of those yummy crackles. If you've used Sweet Pickens milk paint before, you know that it's unpredictable. You never know. Each item will do something differently. And this one really, I got a few little spots that it chipped away, but other than that, it was just a pretty paint job. Well, not quite at the moment. I wonder what y'all think. Which is easier, a small little cubby like this is really a small cubby, or a big piece of furniture? They all have their eases and they all have their difficult. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and get this sanded nice and smooth, distressed on those detail edges. I love how Sweet Pickens milk paint just distresses and just sands so nice. Now, the milk paint you need to seal in with something. So, and I want to add a little bit more age, bring out some of the flaws in the paint that really gives it that old time look. So just starting off with some clear wax, and then I'm going to add some of the Jolie's black wax on top of that, and that'll really bring some of those imperfection details on. I know not everything has to be perfect, y'all. Sometimes it's the perfectly imperfect. There's just something about a simple black bird, though it's not a crow, though it's not a raven. It's just a simple little black bird, and look how cute they will be sitting with some of my salvaged finds. Okay, next up is this little 3-tier pumpkin stack. Let's go ahead and pull the overly fakey stuff out, which is going to end up leaving holes on top, but we can fill those. Okay. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's go ahead. A bit of spackle just to fill in those holes. So what they did to put this together is they just used, this has some glue on it. Yeah, they just used some dowel rods or some bamboo skewers. So since these are a little bit darker in color, this one's not, but I'm going to go ahead and spray them all white just to get them covered up, to cover this all up. So I thought it would be fun just to do some decoupage, some layers of decoupage. That's why I just needed to get them white. I didn't need to cover up all the damage that the hot glue caused. I do have like a third one that I might pop in. Oh, which one do I like more? Maybe the muted. Maybe the muted. So we got, and I know the pattern's really big. I know that, but it's just for fun, y'all. It's just for fun. Let's start off just by cutting some of it down. This is a great way for these smaller projects, even though I'm using a full sheet, to use up some of your, your leftover pieces. It's pumpkin season, right? The little hue that might be here and there matches that hue. So I might switch over to that one. You know how it works. So 1/4 is enough. So it doesn't look like I need this piece. So what I'm going to start off with first is I'm going to go right in the middle here and just put some Mod Podge. Because I'm probably going to have to clip my paper as I wind around. Just trying to center that first little triangle there. If the paper rips, y'all, it's going to be distressed at the end. Don't stress over it. I'm going to go back in, add some more Mod Podge. Just trying to somewhat keep my triangles, my main triangle, kind of straight, kind of. That one's a bit more than I want. Could cut off the excess, but I'm just going to go ahead and put a whole bunch of Mod Podge on it. Let it lay down on top of each other. It'll give it a nice base to sit. While my Mod Podge was wet, I stuck them back together. And then let's take this guy out. Oh, there we go. The little cheesy. And I'm going to replace it with a knob. Yep, why not? This little decoupage is so cute. I think it'll be fun to put it on top of here. So to cover up the base, I have some of this. So I think that will go. Go ahead and I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this down first. Just hot glue. It's just foam pumpkins and paper mache, basically, with decoupage. So I'll just see if I can get it centered. And then we're just going to add something to hide down here. And to add a little bit of bling, I have this owl, though he does not match, but how cute would he be? So I'm going to go ahead and get him painted. Sometimes it's just a work in process, and you just kind of have to see what you got in your stash, what you can embellish something with. Another one of the new colors is cast iron. Where is that? There we go, cast iron. And I think because that paper's not totally black, that I think this will go well. It's a great way to use this piece up that I got as an extra haul. So now to attach that little birdie. So I do have a boutonniere pin so that it would be long enough to go into the foam. To hold him. And then a little bit of glue back here. So, oh, my glue's gonna run. To hide that, we can just go ahead and paint that the same color. By that setting, I have 3 different strings that I'm going to tie to the top. This one matches the grass that I use, the black, and then a little creamish one. So that'll just give it a little bit more dimension with a few colors. And on the layers just a little bit and add a little bit of the grass to it. One more step to tie the base in. I love how that was already painted, but I want to add some black to it. Just using some of the Jolie's black wax. That should tie in to it all. And just dabbing a little bit of the black wax on that grass so the grass doesn't look brand new. And my very last step, I promise, I just felt like I needed some berries or something like that. So I have these rusty stars. This is from the garland that you sent me. And I clipped all the little berries off of it, all the little stars off of it. And yes. So now we have the little bag of little bitty pumpkins. Our little things are so cute. Though I'm really not a fan of the creamish yellow. And I like that white of the parchment. So we're going to go ahead. These are a little bit more difficult because you got to do the bottom first. Not sure how many I'm going to use, but I will get them all painted up. If you're like me and you get a little bit impatient for the top or the bottom to dry before you move it onto the top and you use a heat gun, remember they're foam. And yeah, but I kind of like the warty that it started kind of melting it. The wartier the better, right? So I ended up loving that little 3 stack so much that I am going to go ahead and make a stack in this little thrifted little riser. So we're going to start off by getting it glued into place. So I'll have some toothpicks. I'm going to use some toothpicks bundled up. That way one might not quite be enough. There we go. I want to make sure it doesn't come through the pumpkin. Oh, goodness. I'm going to take this out, and I'm actually going to use, and this one was off-centered. It's okay, I'll be putting some stuff. So I'm going to use a rusty nail, or what, rusty square nail for the topper. We're going to wrap some stuff around it, so I'm not too worried about that. Because along with that owl, I had this owl, you guys. Now this one is a little chip, but putting that grass there, I'm pretty sure I can hide it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and attach these two. Same thing, I'm going to use these pins because that will really hold them in, and we can paint them. Oh, that doesn't even need any hot glue because the two had grass. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I told you it was a good one. Some 3 little tiered pumpkins and those cute owls just fit on there perfectly. What a perfect time of year to create those. And then we have the little mice with the little mushroom that started the whole inspiration, the lights, the greenery. Oh, my heart, it is just too stinking cute. And then plain simple black birds. Yes, they don't have to be anything special, just a can of black spray paint. How that just took those little birdies to the next level. So I hope I have inspired you in any way to look beyond what an item looks like, get it painted up, and make it into something new and create it into your own decor. So thanks so much for watching today's video, and as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you are new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.